Hello, I'm UAnime5 and here is my review of Starcraft 2 Wings of Liberty. In this review I'll be analysing the various types of missions and evaluating the overall story. Mar Sara missions. Wings of Liberty starts with Arcturus Mengsk telling Tychus that war with the Zerg is coming. Tychus then closes his helmet over his cigar, which will result in his entire helmet quickly filling with smoke, making it impossible for him to see anything. It then cuts to a scene that shows Blizzard hasn't given any thought to the plot of Wings of Liberty. Firstly, for no reason, Mengsk and Raynor are now enemies, with Mengsk spending trillions on hunting Raynor. Given how badly the Confederacy was damaged by the Zerg attacks, and how badly the Dominion was damaged during Brood Wars by the UED and the Zerg, it's unlikely that Mengsk would be able to spend trillions just hunting Raynor, especially since by the end of Brood Wars he had to call in favours and make concessions just to get a fleet. Secondly, Raynor now hates Mengsk because of what happened on Tarsonis. However, this isn't explained until you play some optional missions. Given that Raynor's rebellion against Mengsk is Raynor's goal for most of Wings of Liberty, Blizzard should have explained Raynor's motives earlier on, not providing it as an optional extra. This is more likely to be a retcon rather than poor writing, because after Mengsk lured the Zerg to Tarsonis, Raynor saved Mengsk's life by helping him escape from the UED attack on Korhol.
So, the elusive Arcturus Mengsk at last. I was hoping to speak with you before we finished our business here. I am Admiral Gerard Dugas, and I must commend you, sir, for holding back our advance for as long as you have. You are indeed a worthy opponent.
My thanks to you, sir. But you must know that your victory here means little to me. It might have taken me a while, but I did overthrow the Confederacy. I'll overthrow your rule as well.
That seems unlikely, seeing as how you will be publicly executed along with the rest of your ranking officers.
You wouldn't dare.
A man who crowns himself emperor speaks to me of death. You have far outlived your reputation as citizen Mengsk. Captain, prepare to take the Emperor into custody.
You'll have to postpone those plans, gentlemen.
Sir, the rebel command ship Hyperion has just entered our system. It is accompanied by a small Protoss fleet.
What? Who are these?
What the hell are you doing here?
I'm pulling your ass out of the fire. Shut up and sit tight. Make no mistake about it. We've got us a serious score to settle. But right now, a mutual acquaintance of ours wants you alive. Prepare your ships for dimensional recall.
This is improper. They're escaping right out from under us. Track them. Track them.
He never objected to Kerrigan helping Mengsk retake Korhol, and he even helped Mengsk retake Korhol.
Raynor, you and Phoenix will strike at the more outlying fortification, while my forces are busy assaulting the main UED base at August.
Thirdly, if Raynor doesn't like how Mengsk is running the Dominion, he could simply go live with a Protoss, like he did in the original Starcraft.
Executor, my crew and I will remain here on Ire and shut the gate down on this side. It's the only way to make sure that the Zerg won't send more reinforcements to Shakuras.
Fourthly, by causing 6 rebellions, Raynor is either trying to fragment or destroy the Dominion. Even though Blizzard is trying to make Raynor look like a hero for doing this, if a planet rebels against the Dominion, it will lose the protection of the vast Dominion armies, making it vulnerable to attacks by Terran pirates, Zerg, and the Protoss. So, unless these planets join the Umjur Protectorate or the Kel'Moraine Combine, Raynor just made their problems much worse. Fifthly, Raynor has no plan regarding what will happen if he kills or overthrows Mengsk, with the most likely outcome being a complete fragmentation of the Dominion and several wars over who controls which sectors. At least Mengsk had a clear plan regarding what he was going to replace the Confederacy with.
Gentlemen, you've done very well. But remember that we've still got a job to do. The seeds of a new empire have been sown.
Unlike Raynor, who lacks any plan regarding what will happen after Mengsk is overthrown. In conclusion, even if Mengsk is a dictator, all Raynor's actions will do is weaken the Terran armies, making them more vulnerable to alien attacks. Sadly, Blizzard wanted Raynor to be rebelling against Mengsk, but didn't think through what this rebellion would mean for the Terrans. So the result is a rebellion which is actually bad for the Terrans. Mar Sara Mission 1, Liberation Day. Just like the original Starcraft, the first 3 missions are on Mar Sara. For those who've played the original Starcraft, it might seem odd that the people of Mar Sara are anti-Dominion, since the Sons of Korhol, led by Mengsk, helped them evacuate when the Zerg attacked their planet.
Good day, Magistrate. My name is Arcturus Mengsk, and I represent the Sons of Korhol. You're familiar with the Confederate propaganda surrounding my group, but your reputation suggests you'll see past it. It's never been our practice to operate in any one place for long, but these Zerg don't look like they're going to wait. I'm going to make you an offer, Magistrate. I'd like to help you out by sending down a number of transports to your colony and evacuating any survivors. You know, of course, that my organization operates outside the bounds of Confederate law. That's why they spread their lies and misinformation. If you decide to accept our help, you'll be branded as an outlaw too. But it's a chance to save those people.
The reason given on Blizzard's website is that Mar Sara was repopulated by the Kelsmoraine Combine, which is hostile to the Dominion. Pity this wasn't explained in the game. So Raynor goes to the surface with some Marines and starts attacking the Dominion soldiers. You then find some virtual statues of Mengsk, which show the player that Mengsk has been turned into a caricature of a dictator rather than a well-written character. Also, destroying them makes people more rebellious, even though these hollow boards make Mengsk look more like an uncaring tyrant, so they would be an effective way to make people hate Mengsk more. Next, you come across a group of Dominion soldiers that will be difficult to defeat. While the smart thing would be to send additional soldiers to the other side of the Dominion army to encircle them, Raynor instead has his troops sent into the middle of the Dominion army, resulting in them being attacked from all sides. This is the exact opposite of what you'd expect a brilliant commander to do. Afterwards, you come across the Dominion either forcing people to go somewhere to dig, or bribing them with food to dig. They then shoot someone for running away, which marks the only time you see the Dominion actively being abusive in Wings of Liberty. I guess Blizzard thought that they'd only have to show the Dominion acting immorally once to convince the player that the entire Dominion is abusive, even though it only shows that the people are being abused by the Dominion on Mar Sara because the Dominion needed to quickly dig up an artifact. The mission ends with Raynor destroying the Dominion base and giving a cheesy speech that causes everyone to forget the whole forced labour thing that happened a few minutes ago and forget all about the people who've already been taken to the dig site. It seems that Blizzard wants all the missions to be self-contained rather than leading logically from one mission to the next. Raynor then goes back to an unprotected bar, even though he's just revealed to the Dominion exactly which planet he's on, and the Dominion still has soldiers on Mar Sara that can regroup and attack him. Raynor should be making plans to escape, not sitting around drinking, especially when he's not wearing his armoured suit. Tychus then appears and shows just how easy it is for someone to find and get close to Raynor. Given how easily Tychus could find Raynor after being released from prison, it's impossible to believe that after spending trillions the Dominion wouldn't be able to find and assassinate or arrest Raynor. Tychus then tells Raynor that after he was conveniently released from a Dominion prison, he conveniently got a job with Mobius, which conveniently involves getting an artifact that was just dug up, that is conveniently located on the planet Raynor just happens to be on. Raynor doesn't question any of these coincidences and agrees to take this job even though it could be a trap. Not sure how Raynor hasn't been captured by Mengsk, given that he's willing to do anything even when he doesn't know the risks involved. This was also a good opportunity for Raynor to explain to Tychus and the player why he hates Mengsk. Sadly, Blizzard decided that if Raynor hates someone, then the player will automatically hate them, so they felt there was no reason to justify the entire plot of Wings of Liberty. One final thing is that even though Mengsk is meant to be using his control of the media against Raynor, the UNN is freely able to praise Raynor without suffering any negative consequences. It seems that Blizzard didn't understand what control of the media means. Mar Sara Mission 2, The Outlaws. In the second mission, Raynor builds up an army to attack the Dominion base and get the artifact. Find it odd that despite witnessing people being forced to go somewhere to dig in the previous mission, Raynor doesn't ever mention helping these people. On the way to the artifact, Raynor meets some rebels which will instantly join you in exchange for fighting a few soldiers that they should easily be able to defeat. Judging by all the civilians, the rebels seem to be trying to rescue all the people who were forced by the Dominion to dig up the artifact. The same people Raynor didn't do a thing to rescue until Tychus told him that someone would pay him for the artifact. You then destroy the Dominion base and nobody mentions being forced to dig for the artifact. Does this mean that in the previous mission no one was being forced by the Dominion to go to the dig site? Maybe it wasn't so bad once you got used to it. Most likely Blizzard didn't think the plot through, so they have no idea whether the Dominion is using forced labour or not. For those expecting this mission to be a trap, with Mengsk using Tychus to trick Raynor into attacking the Dominion for some reason, I'm sorry to inform you that Blizzard isn't capable of writing missions more complex than go there or smash that. Mar Sara Mission 3, 0 Hour. In this mission you learn that the Zerg are attacking Mar Sara, again, so Mengsk's prediction of a new Zerg invasion was accurate. I couldn't help but wonder if Raynor hadn't caused a revolt against the Dominion on Mar Sara, whether the Dominion armies would be better able to fight against the Zerg, and perhaps save the planet. In any case, this mission is almost an exact copy of the third Terran mission, Desperate Alliance, from the original Starcraft. You just have to remain alive for 20 minutes and you win. If you're wondering why Raynor was on Mar Sara in the first place, rather than on the Hyperion leading his rebellion, it's never explained or mentioned again because even Blizzard doesn't know what's going on in their story. You then escape Mar Sara and learn that Kerrigan is attacking everywhere for some reason. Raynor thinks Kerrigan has come to finish the job but doesn't explain what that means. Given that Raynor doesn't abandon his plan to overthrow Mengsk and is willing to take on missions where he has to actually fight the Zerg, it's clear that he doesn't consider this a major threat. On the Hyperion, you meet the main members of Raynor's raiders. Matt Horner, a brilliant pilot who's very boring. Swan, a brilliant mechanic who is able to build new weapons based on Dominion weapons in a few hours. Stetman, a brilliant engineer who can create technologies that even the Dominion doesn't have using just a small lab. Gravenhill, who sells you mercenaries. And Kaczynski, a genius in robotics who's a background character that doesn't do anything useful. So Raynor has a whole ship full of super geniuses that can give Raynor new weapons and technology every mission. No matter how ridiculous it is that a small group of people with poor resources are somehow able to create technologies that even the Dominion doesn't possess. Conclusion. Regarding the Mar Sara missions, they're effective in that they teach the player how to manage their units, and once you get to the Hyperion you're introduced to nearly all the main characters. However, these missions fail to provide the player with an explanation regarding why things are happening in the story, such as why Mengsk and Raynor are now enemies, what is going to happen to the Dominion if Raynor overthrows Mengsk, and what Raynor was actually doing on Mar Sara in the first place. Unlike StarCraft 1, where you at least knew why the characters were doing what they were doing, as a result, while the Mar Sara missions are effective at explaining how to play Wings of Liberty and who all the characters are, they're ineffective at explaining the motivations of these characters, which results in the story being less engaging.